This is exciting to me to have a chance to visit with you guys because I imagine that we got a lot of coaches. And just let me see how many people are actually coaching runners and all that. Okay, and then and of all the coaches that just raised your hand, probably you guys all ran too as well. You competitive runners and all. How many people are runners and have competed in running and all that? Okay, so. Obviously, with the age that we have in this group, you've obviously run successfully at some time because you wouldn't keep doing it unless you were winning, right? So there are a lot of guys, a lot of you that have won races and had set some pretty good times and done some pretty good things, I'm sure. And I bet you also have coached kids and young people that have won a lot of stuff and been successful. Is that right? Probably. Yeah, you all feel pretty good about that. Everybody can win now and then. We all love winning. But if you really had your way, wouldn't you really just like to win from now on? Every time you go, I mean, nobody could ever touch. Think about that. If you could just keep winning and winning and winning, kicking butt day after day, month after month, as you set yourself up. We think that way around here. That's what we've been setting out to do from a long time back, and been very proud that we've been able to be successful over a long period of time. And even with the simple thought that we had, that we wanted to do things better than it's ever been done before in everything we're doing. And try to just find a way to find a way in all of our challenges and all of the obstacles and the hurdles that we'd come up against in everything, whether we're teaching, we're coaching, we're counseling, academics, in off-season programs, lifting, strength and conditioning programs, in everything we're doing. We're trying to just kick butt and find a way to do that. And the only way you can do that is to compete like crazy. You have to compete like from now on. Think about that mentality. You got to do things better than anybody's ever done it. And that's where you wake up in the morning, you go to sleep at night, and that's what you know in everything you're doing. You have to have a competitor's mindset to do that. Let me ask you something here. Of the coaches that are here, if you're going to do a good job in coaching, you got to kind of have an idea of how you're doing it. You got to have a kind of a plan. You got a regimen or routines that you convey to your runners, and you have a thought about it. Well, let me ask you this one: how many of you here have a philosophy about how you coach your running? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you have a philosophy, Okay, you look around and see how many people raise their hands, about a half dozen of those. Of those, the people that just raised their hand, how many of you could tell us right now in 25 words or less what that philosophy is? Well, you raised your hand. You think you could? Could you? Okay, so there's a couple of us here that could. Let me ask you this one. If you're coaching, see, I don't care what the philosophy is. That's not important to me. That's not important. So you're off the hook. If you want to do really well and convey your ideas and your thoughts to the people that are running for you and help them do really well, don't you think it would be a good idea if you had your thoughts really clear in your mind and you had an actual philosophy that you could convey, or at least a package of ideas and concepts that you can convey clearly to your runners so they would really clearly understand what you're all about so that you can help them help themselves? Of course you would. You'd like to be able to do that because you want them to do well. And you feel good about them doing well and all that. So you think that after all of the time you guys have been coaching that you would have your thoughts really clear. Well, I tell you, I went through my coaching. I coached for years and years and years. And not until I got fired for about the fourth time, and yeah, that's right, 4 times, whatever it is. I'm in New England, and I'm looking, thinking I'm in the off season. I don't have a job. I'm still sitting on a contract that's burning up, and it dawned on me when I was reading a book by Coach Wooden that I didn't really have my philosophy nailed. I didn't really know what was important to me. I read the book, and the book said when Coach Wooden won his first national championship, it was in his 16th year at UCLA. Now, he'd been coaching in the Midwest and a lot of places. It took him 16 years across town here to figure out how to win a national championship. I'd slammed the book closed because I knew the rest of the story, because for the next 11 years he won 10 national championships. When he finally figured it out, what it took, and he was winning conference championships. He was successful. He was doing great. He held his job for all those years at UCLA. He finally won because he figured it out what it took to get the very best out of what he had to offer his teams. And once he knew what it was, once he nailed his philosophy, his mindset, his terminology, his verbiage, everything that was important to him, nobody could touch him. Nobody could even approach. He lost one game in 11 years that kept him from winning 11 straight. Then he quit. He retired. He was done. Winningest, run you could ever hope to have. Well, it hit me just like a ton of bricks. I better get my act together. I'm not going to get 16 years to do it next time. I've already been fired 4 times. I better get my act together right now. I might not even get 16 months because I didn't I wasn't at the Jets for 16 months when I got fired there, you know, so it can happen really. I better get my stuff going. Well, here's what I'm saying to you. If you want to do the very best job you can do for your runners, the best thing you can do right off the bat is figure out what's important to you first. It isn't about them, it's about you. You've got to get your thoughts and your ideas and your concepts, your philosophy, your verbiage, your language, your routines, your practice sessions, your way of communicating with them nailed so that you can do the very best job you can possibly do to help them be the best they can be. If you're not doing that, then you're not competing. So get your act together. Get yourself clear on what it really makes you tick, and you'll communicate more clearly. You'll come to language that will represent more directly what is important to you, and you'll be now giving your best shot to help those kids. Well, you don't want to be somebody that's not giving full effort. You guys know, you know, if anybody, this group knows about effort. I mean, that's what you guys have lived with, running and running and running and teaching kids what that's all about. So let's use that effort thought to also figure out the best way you can communicate and convey what you have that's so special for those kids. That's to me, when you do that, then you're maxing out what you're all about. You're bringing out the best in what you have to offer. That's maximizing, and that's what winning forever is. Winning forever isn't winning every race, because nobody wins every race. We do, as much as we work at it, as hard as we try, we want to win every freaking game forever around here, but somehow, every now and then, it just doesn't happen. But that doesn't mean we're not maximizing who we are and what we're all about as coaches and as players and as a program. We come back the next day and we go right back on track. We go right back to who we are. We return to that mindset that we have that makes us champions, that makes us great, and makes us separate from the rest of the crowd. That's winning forever in my mind. It's maximizing everything that you can bring forth, whether you're a player, a coach, runner, or whatever it is. And so, as we head into the program for the marathon and all that, you know, hopefully we'll share, you know, our thoughts. I love coaching with coaches. I love helping coaches understand us. We don't have all the answers, but we have our answers. And that's what's really important for us. I can't coach like the guy across town. I can't coach like Coach Wooden. He was the all-timer, but I'm going to battle to figure out the best way I can coach and present myself to my staff and my team and then this university as we represent what we're all about. Our first year, we were 2-5 in our first season. We were 2-5. We were playing in Arizona, and we had no juice, no excitement. I was ready to bench Carson Palmer, if you can believe that. But I did have Matt Leinart ready to go. But I almost made that decision because we weren't playing well. I thought we needed a little juice or something, and almost decided not to. We went on to win that game, and we won late in the game. It was kind of a dramatic win. And in that locker room, I had felt like we had done the things that we needed to do to change our mentality. And I told them in that locker room that night in Arizona that we do not have to lose anymore. We're over that stuff. Well, the 5 losses we've already had, all were because we were kind of looking for our way and that old mindset, we're going to screw up, we're going to make the mistakes, that stuff was done. And we really have turned from that point forward, you know, in a whole different cultural type of shift that's really pervaded, you know, throughout all of the time we've been here. So, but that's not easy now. That's the big challenge. It's the hardest part of the whole thing, is transitioning. We good? Thanks. We've got a little bit of the Navy here. We're doing great. Thanks for coming out, and